Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I thought I'd do something a little different, and we're going to be doing a top 5 list, and this one's specifically for the Habs fans out there. This is a top 5 list of things to keep your eye on next season. In my opinion, the Montreal Canadiens have some of the most entertaining players, one of the better prospect pools, and there's just so much exciting stuff to take a look at. So I've narrowed it down to my top 5 things. So without wasting any of our time, let's get into the list. At number 5, we're starting hot, and we have the Laval Rockets and all of the prospects that are going to be playing there next year. We're going to be able to watch a lot of players jump into their first season at the AHL level, and a lot more players play their second year or maybe even third and continue to develop their game. Some of those players, in my opinion, are going to be Joshua Roy, Riley Kidney, Logan Mailloux, maybe even Owen Beck. Those are the players that I really believe are going to get right into the AHL next year and hopefully have a really good season development-wise. Now, that's not all. I also believe players like Sean Farrell might start the season there. He had a bit of a rough time in the last couple games of the NHL season, but that's normal. He's still young, and some AHL time would be perfect for him. I'm a strong believer that our AHL team should be filled with prospects who could really learn to develop and grow their game together, and that's exactly what the Laval Rockets are going to be next year. On top of that, what's even more exciting is that the Montreal Canadiens, as we know, every week there's a new injury. So these players, if they're having good seasons, they're going to get often called up, and they're going to get a shot in the NHL, and it's just going to be real nice to see their progression and just give them a real fair chance at a higher level. Now that is going to be all for number 5. On to number 4. I don't think a lot of people are going to fully agree with me on this one, but to me, I'm a really big believer in this one, and it's just something that was really entertaining to me already last season. And that is to keep an eye on the young blue line. Man, oh man, to me, they are super entertaining. You have a crazy skater and puck mover in young Caden Gooley. You have an enforcer, someone who drops the mitts with absolutely everybody, but who also has a pretty sneaky shot in Arbor Jacki. And then you have something we lack in right-handed defenseman, Justin Barron, who's a very good skater, has a very good shot, and someone who's going to be looking to take control as the QB of that power play next year. As we know, it starts from the bottom, and the young defensemen are a huge piece, a huge factor in this team's future success. We have a couple more in the pipeline, but those 3, in my opinion, are some real big guys who we really need to keep growing their game. There's also Kovacevic, who I thought had a great year, and Jordan Harris. But in my opinion, I unfortunately see those guys as trade pieces as the years go on. So it's still going to be exciting to watch them grow their games. But the 3 that I mentioned in Arbor Jacki, Caden Gooley, and Justin Barron, those are my 3 favorite to watch. Now that is all for number 4. Moving on to number 3. I have listed the growth of Caulfield, Suzuki, and Doc. Those 3 guys are a huge factor in this team's offensive success, and last year each and every one of them took a big jump. Caulfield kept scoring, and kept scoring. He was the team's top scorer for the whole season despite only playing half of it. Kirby Dach learned to use his body more, continued to develop his playmaking skills, and was getting really good at driving the offense. And finally, Nick Suzuki as well. This guy was left out to dry with absolutely no help, and he still managed to put up 66 points, a new career high, maintaining his Ironman streak as well. The best thing is, these guys are still extremely young, and there's so much room for them to develop and get even better. So look out for this season for them to each break out and each hit career high points. Now that is it for number 3. On to number 2, and this one, it's a 2-parter. I have keeping up and watching our 5th overall pick, hopefully, whether that is Leo Carlsson, Matvei Michkov, or Will Smith. Kent Hughes, please don't mess it up, select one of those 3 guys. But yeah, being able to keep up with them, watch how they're doing, see if they're progressing or developing, it's just going to be nice to see. And I'm very certain that this player will not be playing right away in the NHL. Whether it's Michkov, Will Smith, or Leo Carlsson, they will return to their respective leagues, either the NCAA, the SHL, or the KHL. All of those players will get to stay in their leagues, and they'll continue to progress and develop without us rushing the player. It's going to be a great thing. Now for the second part of number 2, it is us continuing to be, let's say, not so great. although we're going to have our young players hopefully have a good year development-wise, I really strongly believe that we're going to be a bottom 10 team once again. And what's exciting about that is obviously our players are going to be developing, but we're also going to be looking at another top 10 pick. So to recap, number 2, I have us watching and keep an eye on our 5th overall pick from this year, and just being excited that we're probably going to be a bottom 10 team once again next year. And that means despite our young players getting better and better, we're still going to get a very good draft spot next year. And now that has to do it for my number 2, which leaves us with number 1. Drum roll, please. The number 1 thing I have on my list to keep an eye on, it is Juraj Slafkovský. So many people have already written this guy off for absolutely no reason. Sure, he didn't have the most amazing first NHL season for a first overall player, but you'd be lying to yourself if you didn't see some good sparks in his play. Like I said, it was only his first season. Now for him to come in and it being his second season, he'll be a year older, he'll be more used to his body, more used to the North American style of play. I think it's going to be a real good season for him development-wise, and I'm just really excited to see the kind of strides he takes this year. Like, you have to remember, he has all the tools to succeed. He is a big player, he has nice hands, a good shot, and he could accelerate quite well. Like I said, he has all the tools to becoming a very good player in the NHL. It was one bad season, and if I had to predict it, this year is going to be a good season for Juraj Slafkovský. If he stays healthy, he's getting 45 points, 50 points minimum. That is my prediction. It's a big reach, I think, but I'm really confident in the guy, and he's going to have a great season and prove a lot of people wrong. So that's going to do it for my top 5 things to keep an eye on next season. Let me know down in the comments any things that you would add to the list. Everyone's different, but those are the 5 things that I'm very excited to see, and I think it's going to be a big year for the Montreal Canadiens. Anyways, if you did enjoy today's video, don't be afraid to hit that like button and maybe even consider subscribing. With that being said, I'll see you all next time. Take care.